All right, 11-hour marathon whiskey podcast.
Woo, dog.
We're going. How many alcohols we got?
For the Ukraine.
For the Ukraine. We don't stop till the war's over.
Start the podcast.
Now we're live. Alrighty, well, welcome back to Alcohol Content. You're here with myself, Austin. We got Ryan and we got Rick. And today we're going to continue giving the hot takes for you on the alcohol that we're trying. Currently, we are on our second episode of going through the quest for the best $20 bourbon. So, Rick, what do we got going today?
So what we got going today is, again, I loaded up my trusty box and headed on over here, and we're just starting off with some Maker's Mark, and we've already got it poured. It's 90 proof, and it you can pick it up in our area for $23.99.
Okay.
So that's what's leading it off.
It's got that nice wax drip on the top.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've had. I like a lot of Maker's Mark products. You know, their wood stave series and things like that. But it's been a long time since I've had just their regular, flagship bourbon. So I was sort of surprised when I opened it up to pour. You get the nice red wax and no cork. But I understand it's.
So it's a screw top with the wax.
Screw top with the wax, but I guess if I'm being real, it's under $30. So
Yeah. But really well known. Everyone knows Maker's Mark.
absolutely
One of the most famous brands for bourbon of all time, I think.
Yeah. A lot of people, interestingly enough, believe that Maker's Mark, this Maker's Mark, is the best bourbon with food.
Okay.
I haven't read anything scientific, but I've just read a lot of opinions where they're going, yep, if you're going to have bourbon with food, Maker's Mark is the way to go.
And this is famously weeded, correct?
It's a weeded bourbon. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think they keep their mash bill hidden. I looked for it again and didn't find it, but yeah, it's definitely
it's
weeded.
definitely sweet, so you can taste that weeded.
The soft red winter wheat is what they use.
I smell honey,
Definitely.
which I'm surprised by.
I haven't had Maker's Mark in a really long time, and this is just kind of pretty sweet all around. I wasn't expecting this trying it.
I actually really enjoy the nose on it.
Yeah.
It's sort of just subtle and light and a little sweet.
And not, what's the proof of this?
90.
90, yeah. And I mean, no ethanol in the nose, really. It's you can just kind of take a big whiff and get all that sweetness in there.
I do not like the taste of this. I really don't.
What notes do you get?
It just seems like it seems hot for only being 90 proof, and the sweetness doesn't really cover up or match the proof. Like, it's weird. It just doesn't seem like it gels together. And then the wood, I hate the wood note on it.
It is very woody, for sure.
I hate that wood note that they have.
Yeah.
Well, it's a number 3 char. They char it for about 40 seconds.
Okay.
I know that. And I know a lot of the other Maker's Mark,
Don't they stave it, though? I think Maker's Mark staves it. They just shove.
the regular too?
I think so.
That
I might be wrong. I might be totally wrong.
Know. I didn't think they did, but
It's not something that I totally dislike. The wood is very, very forward in the flavor profile for sure.
I think it's overpowering.
Yeah, but I do kind of agree that it does seem kind of hot for the proof.
Yeah.
But it's an easy drinker. It just has that wood flavor on the mid to back palate.
Yeah, and if you're combining sort of just an ethanol and wood note, that is something I don't want.
But it is sweet.
Kind of. I mean, it's got some sweetness
like
to
a
it.
golden sweet, that with the honey nose.
Golden Graham or something like that.
Yeah.
But what's weird is it's not sweet to the point of, like, if you're a novice and getting into bourbon, it's not like sweet to the point where, oh yeah, entry palate.
Yeah. This isn't like Larceny from the last episode.
Yeah, that is
And
sweet,
this is
but
also weeded
good.
too.
Yeah. This I don't think hits that, which is weird because usually if it's mass marketed and, you know, it's going to be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And this doesn't really do that.
I think this is not trying to, like, sure, they want it to be mass marketed, but this isn't like, this is the everyday kind of connoisseur's whiskey. That's at least how I've interpreted Maker's Mark to be, is like, oh, this is like nice stuff. Look at the wax and everything. And the flavor profile, I think, is them trying to bridge the like larceny high appeal and then the sophisticated woody, you know, what are you getting from the barrel? That's what it tastes like to me. And it doesn't necessarily like hit it perfectly. It just gives you a little bit of both worlds, and it doesn't mash very well.
I agree 100% with that. Yeah, it doesn't have balance. That's always my thing. If it doesn't have balance, you can be super one thing or another, but if it doesn't back it up, it doesn't have a backbone. This doesn't have a backbone. This is just wood.
So it's wood and ethanol, according to you?
I get more sweetness on the nose. Once you taste it, that sweetness goes away real fast, and it's just sort of a lumberyard.
I find the aftertaste to just kind of be tanniny on the back of my tongue,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's
I would
tannic
agree
for
with
sure.
that.
and it's not very enjoyable. And what's the exact price of this one, Rick?
We can get it here for $24, $23.99.
Okay.
So it's, you know, I mean, it's a reasonable, I mean, it's on the lower end of the $20 to $30. And again, just for the viewers, it's what we can get locally, pre-tax, and we're not hedging, you know, we're not, it's, if it's $20 to $20.99, then it could be included in this.
It is worth mentioning, because the last time we did this, that Old Forester is now not that price.
Yes, and Elijah Craig regular 94 proof, which we will do in a another flight of this, is now $27.99, and it was about $34.99 a few weeks ago.
Prices fluctuate depending
they always
on
fluctuate.
whatever.
In last episode, you did say at the time of this.
Exactly. And I'm trying not to also, hey, I got a screaming deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no, here's sort of what.
Well, that Old Forester was almost the opposite. Like, it was the normal price as far as I've ever seen, and then all of a sudden, the last time I saw it on the store shelf, it was
it's not
$10 more. What the hell was that?
It's certainly still a good deal because it's a great bottle of alcohol, but it's just now more expensive.
Yeah. You start, because I think it went to 35 or something.
Yeah, 34
It's like, that's
something,
a big jump.
But it
Still,
might match.
But
what
once you
it's-
get to 35, though, then now you're talking a whole different ballgame.
yeah.
And
So-
again, as a reminder, the last time we did a flight of five, $20, under $30, and between $20 and $30 bourbons. Old Forester 100 was our
Number one.
number one,
Yeah.
and Old Tub Bottled and Bond was our our second that are moving on.
Moving on in the bracket.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the first one of tonight's.
Yeah. Not terrible.
The more I tried it, the less I liked it.
It's not terrible, but you know, this is a well-known. People are probably going to be all angry that we're not talking good about Maker's Mark, but that's just it's not hitting what I want it to. It's either not sweet enough or it's too woodsy. It's also not complex. It's just there.
I would also argue, especially for this particular bottle, if you're a huge fan of it, I mean, you can really like it. That's fine. But also, marketing has a pretty crazy impact on people's opinions of stuff.
Yeah, that wax is there for a reason.
I mean, working in the liquor store, for me, watching how different alcohol companies spent millions of dollars on advertising to specific demographics and how that is all they bought, pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And I think they've done a really good job of advertising, and they have the look and the wax and all that. So people like it more than they probably should.
Everyone has a bottle of Maker's Mark. So,
and I'm saying you don't need one.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got up next?
What the hell is
So
this?
this is Redemption.
What the
Redemption
fuck?
Bourbon 88 proof. We can get it here for $28.99. And it's actually I did a little research on this because this is new to me. I mean, I've tasted it because it's open, but it's been a while ago. And it's owned by the Deutsch family. Sort of interesting.
They do wine.
They,
and stuff
Josh
too.
wine. They
they
import a
wine.
lot of wines. Josh wine is one of their sort of national wines.
Yeah.
And they do. So this is MGP. So it's
Which is
it's
Indiana, right?
Lawrenceburg, Indiana. It's bottled in Bardstown, but it's distilled in at MGP. So that's Midwest Grain Producers. And this particular mash bill is 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% barley. So low on the barley.
Whoa.
I haven't.
That's
I haven't
large
tasted
in the corn and the rye.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
the
crazy.
barley. The
I mean,
barley's.
right away, it's an interesting alcohol, just even on the nose and on the tongue.
I get apricot on the nose.
Yes, I'm thinking of like baked, something like a pie. Apricot's a good
Fruit,
description. Something
yeah.
fruity pie.
I would agree. I see the. I get that.
Oh, I get kind of a bubblegum note now.
There's a little
Damn.
bubble
yeah.
gum, a little stone fruit, but also a little pie crust. You know, the
Yeah.
actual crust part.
What the fuck? This is turning more into
Strange.
bubblegum for me.
Yeah,
But not like juicy fruit. This is like a weird.
yeah, it is kind of like a savory
This is
bubble
like
gum
a Hubba Bubba Max
Yeah.
or something fucking bizarre.
flavored with honey.
Wow.
The Deutsch family also is Bibb and Tucker, and Masterson's rye. So they have a pretty
Interesting.
big portfolio.
Interesting.
And I know that
It's been a long time since I've had that Masterson's rye. It's an expensive bottle.
Oh, yeah.
But it was good if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean like $90.
Yeah,
Ugh,
that's expensive.
that's a real expensive bottle. And Bibb and Tucker, we should try it at some point. I think you have a bottle.
I do have a bottle.
If I remember correctly, that bottle can kind of go fuck itself.
I'm gonna take a look at this.
The Deutsch family. I didn't know that. That's
I
crazy.
like it because it's got the mash bill right on it. I like transparency a lot. Like, it is what it is.
We don't know how long it's aged.
In theory, I find this a little hard to believe. 9 years. That was my research on it.
9 years
That's
with the
9
proof of
years?
84.
Yeah, that's
I don't think so.
well, okay.
Because I remember those bottles, and then I remember that exact brand came out with a 9-year on the label.
And now there's nothing on the label.
No, it was a different bottle. Like
Oh.
that bottle came out, and then they had another bottle that was a 9-year.
Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe whatever. It's. I found that highly.
You know what's crazy is I think on the nose for me, I think that rye kind of comes through, but
Yeah.
it's a good rye. It's kind of that weird, funky
I
sort of.
believe it or not, I'm picking
fruity
up
rye.
just a very the rye, just a slight minty aspect. It's just brief. Just that's on the nose for me. I mean, that's not the predominant thing.
It's a strange taste.
I haven't tasted.
Oh, I was
yet.
gonna say that does not hold up on the palate to me at all. Wow, that nose is so much better. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? That's weird.
It's certainly it tastes kind of syrupy, but I think that's just the corn, like the high corn, low barley. Kind of woodsy
That
a little
tastes
bit,
high proof too.
and it's
that-
only 84.
That feels high proof. Wow. Whoa.
It's a strange one.
So
It gets a little bit of that kind of black pepper on the palate.
the rye black pepper.
Yeah.
But not. It doesn't quite add up to the nose, because the rye kind of comes through in that fun sort of fruity, floral kind of way.
Right.
And on the palate, it's the kind of a shittier rye black pepper,
Yeah.
which is weird.
It's really, I don't know what's good about the taste on this one. It's
There's no way this is 9 years. This tastes super young.
yeah.
This tastes really young.
And what does pre-prohibition alcohol even mean? Like, is it just like, look, this is the stuff that they
Before
made
you-
it when the government was involved, or
Before you bathed in it.
yeah,
The pre-bathtub
yeah, this is
era.
So
That when it was just medicine.
yeah, this is older than Old Tub.
Yeah,
yeah,
just
no,
medicine.
they do that. That's
Bullshit.
a marketing. It's a marketing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there's a reason I opened this quite a while ago and tasted it, and there's still that much left, I guess. I mean, if somebody served me this, it's not like I'd get up and walk
I'd
out or
throw
anything
it in
like
their
that.
face.
No,
Ah,
no. In a weird sort of way, different from Maker's Mark, but in a weird sort of way, I'm picking up on the taste. Not the wood that Maker's Mark had, but sort of a not super pleasant astringency,
Yeah.
especially halfway
Yeah.
through and then down.
Yeah.
But early on there is some decent flavors going on for me on the palate.
I just find it just gets completely overtaken by that astringency, and it's like it's not wood, it's just bark or something, some sort of
Like playground, like elementary school
Yeah.
playground bark. With kids fucking snot on it.
Little Susie busted her knee on, so
Yeah.
it's bloody.
Oh man. On the nose, I was actually excited for this. And
I've seen this at the liquor store, and I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't buy that. And I might have been correct when I thought that.
what's the price?
$28.99.
Oh hell no.
Give
Oh,
me Maker's Mark over this any day.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
I don't even like that.
Yeah, but definitely much better than Redemption.
Holy Nikes.
Are we trying to find the best bourbon or the worst bourbon? God damn.
What? I'm just gonna ask how your day
Yeah.
went, for God's sake. Here's another one I don't like.
It was stressful.
Get off the grass, kids.
This is definitely the 15th seed that deserved to not come into the bracket.
Oh Lord, have mercy, you guys. It's not. If somebody served me this, I would plaster a smile on my face and.
Well, I have a plastered smile on my face because it's just
The astringency is making me
pulling my cheeks
yeah,
up.
it's drying out my cheeks.
Gonna get a Joker smile here in a second. Oh my, get this away from me.
Well, it's a matter of fact, Heath Ledger liked this stuff.
That's what killed him.
Jeez Louise.
All right, final thoughts, anyone?
Oh, my God. Bury it.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate one. I'm pouring water all over my leg.
Nice.
I swear it's
Only 84 proof. That's
Yeah.
what's crazy. If that were 100 proof minimum, it would be a little bit more redeemable
yeah.
with that flavor profile. But the fact that it was that hot and weird at 84 proof, no.
I have a problem with it just calling itself pre-prohibition. It's just like, did you have the recipe back then? What's going on here?
Probably not. There's only a few like actual pre-prohibition that survived, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the recipes probably survived, right? I mean, that's
Some of them, yeah.
They just burned the recipes. So we got ourselves a nice half gallon here.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
That is not under $20.
Well, no.
Yeah, what's going on here, Rick?
But for the 750, it is $24.95. This is Four Roses, the what they call the yellow label.
Which that still has the yellow
This
label.
still does have the yellow label. They've
don't-
gone to
they
more of a
don't anymore.
tan label now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have the tan one.
Yeah.
So this is the older distillate. It's 80 proof. This is their sort of flagship or basic bourbon.
Dude, I don't know what it is. Apparently, the nose for all these have been great for me so far, but I've hated the taste of them.
This one, I'm not getting too much nose on.
Really? I think it smells delicious.
Oh, if I back it off a little bit. Yeah. Something like a creme brulee kind of.
Yeah, I get a desserty. I almost get a
toasted.
kind of a chocolate note to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Milk chocolate, though. Milk chocolate, not
not dark chocolate.
Just a touch. I definitely get floral.
Creme brulee is a good call. Almost like a toasted coconut.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
That's actually a
that's a
really
good
good one.
Yeah, almost like an almond joy a little bit. Oh, I lost you on it? Damn.
The questionable.
Trying to lead you down the path.
Actually, that is a pretty good descriptor, but
No, the actual toasted coconut,
Yeah.
though. That's kind of interesting. I like the smell of this a lot.
yeah. I was a little too close. If I go into the glass, I get nothing.
And this is only 80 proof.
it's only 80 proof. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I like the nose is. I like it. It's just not super dominant for me. The nose.
I will say the nose on those I think was dominant because it was like sweet forward, and then the Redemption had the rye. This seems a little bit
Okay.
less so subtle.
Streak is broken. This tastes amazing.
Okay.
I like this. Wow. I would describe this as integrated.
Integrated.
Oh,
Like post civil rights movement.
Brown
like
versus Board of
yes,
Education.
Integrated.
Woo!
Yes.
This is when everyone's happy.
Well, that
Yes, everyone's
doesn't
happy.
quite follow the analogy.
Everyone's happy, right?
But
Oh wow! When I
ideally,
go,
yes.
when I go back to the nose after just taking a little sip, the more it's a stronger nose for me.
Yeah. Wow.
Very very floral in a good way for me. Yeah. Yeah, 80 proof.
You know what's weird though is no single notes kind of jump out at me when I taste it. But it seems very like it's compact.
Pepper.
They
Well,
do a lot of rye, don't they?
The Four Roses is fairly high.
Yeah.
Rye
But this is
mash
like
bill.
every single one of their alcohol. I get that pepper, like white pepper almost.
White pepper
Yeah,
instead of black pepper.
Yeah, white pepper
Yeah.
definitely. I don't think black pepper. It's not that strong.
No.
I totally agree with your white pepper
Yeah.
on this one. I get the black pepper on some of their
Yeah.
their barrel strength or their barrels. This is I get so there's a number of things going on. It's fairly complex, but yet the subtle underlying note for everything through there is it just a subtle caramel or creme brulee that just it's like that's laid down, and then there's other things dancing on that. That's what it does for me.
It's interesting comparing this to the other two because it is much more subtle all around. I'm not getting burnt with ethanol. I'm not getting a huge flavor explosion, sweetness, like all of that is not there, but it's nice and just drinkable. This is a very drinkable whiskey or bourbon.
Yeah, this is really nice. For what is it? 22, 24?
$24.95 now. It used to
Damn,
be.
it used to be $20.
Yeah.
But man, I think this is probably a necessity for a collection.
There's a reason that it's 1.75. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe, didn't you and I finish a 750 off, just you and I sitting down near your college graduation or
We
whatever?
did. Yeah, we just polished a bottle off.
Just for fun.
Just chilling. Just chilling. Yeah.
It's I'm not able to pull out any individual notes.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
But it doesn't taste bad. There's no bad wood, just to compare it to what we've had it so far. There's no wood forward. It just it's there.
So the way that I think of it is, it's nothing special. Like you're not taken on a journey that's unique, but also there's nothing that stands out in a bad way at all. To me, this is about like bottom baseline of what you could want from drinking a bourbon.
And is this Four Roses baseline?
Yeah, this is their cheapest bottle.
This is their cheapest.
Yeah.
And then what's the price on this one?
It was $24.95 now. It not that long ago was 22, and not that long ago before that was 20.95 or whatever.
See, before the previous episode, this is what I thought you would get for a $20 bottle of bourbon. And this tastes to me like a $20 bottle.
Yeah.
You have things that are super sweet. This just is like right down the middle. Here's some bourbon. And I like that it's their cheapest because it's like this is a good board to jump off of with all their other stuff.
Yeah, and Four Roses. I mean, I definitely like their distillery. They're also known for their yeast strains that everything has a flavor component. And with Four Roses, they have their. I think is it their how many yeast strains they have? 8.
They have 5 yeast strains.
Is it 5 yeast and two mash bills and 5 yeast strains?
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Should we go into the whole story about Four Roses?
Let's
We don't
hear it.
have to. We can.
Well, how about the abridged version of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea is, it's one of the oldest bourbons, and it got bought by the big company Seagram's, like the Canadian whiskey
everyone
Seagram's.
knows Seagram's.
Seagram's VO or whatever the fuck. And when they got acquired by Seagram's, Seagram's essentially just said, we're going to export this. This is going to be an export bourbon. So nobody in America ever saw it again. And it was just, we're going to send this overseas. And then Seagram's started failing as a company. So then all their other distilleries that they had acquired started shutting down. And they were sending all of their yeast strains, recipes, mash bills to the Four Roses distillery. And so all of them ended up shutting down to the point of that was sort of the last one.
Okay.
And then they got bought by somebody else. And so it's essentially like a master distiller's playground.
And they just have so many different recipes.
From all these different distilleries, they have recipes, yeast strains, all these different proven things. And then they acquired them all in one place. And so it is awesome for them because they get to play around with a bunch of different stuff. So they have done 2 mash bills with different amounts of corn and rye, essentially.
Even their low rye is high rye comparably.
They
for
do
bourbon.
a lot of high rye in general. One's higher rye. And then they have 5 distinct yeast strains that they use. So when they make a single barrel strength, they have 10 different ones. 10 unique ones, and they all have a different little code on them for whatever.
Aren't they the spaghetti western alcohol?
Yeah, so way back in movies, that was what was in saloons in the movies.
That's pretty cool.
And then they disappeared because
so that was before they disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Seagram's bought them. And
so we got a
like,
piece of Americana here.
Yeah. Yep. And now it's becoming a bigger and bigger thing. I remember when I first started in the alcohol industry, we had like 5 or 6 of the single barrel strengths, like the unique ones. And now, good luck finding any of them anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, awesome story. One of my favorite distilleries because of that.
This is such an easy drinker. Like
Yeah,
that was a pretty big sip I just took, and it just goes right down the pipe.
Yeah. We drank a bottle to ourselves and then went and did stuff. that was the beginning.
Had a great time.
That was the beginning of the day. Yeah. The beginning of the night.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Well,
I highly recommend Four Roses to everyone.
so we went from
But it's not
bad to this is amazing.
But the one thing though is I don't even know if I'd call this an entry level bourbon. It is entry for the price point and if you want to start branching out into things. But this is not if you don't know bourbon at all and you're just trying it for the first time. This is not what you want.
Yeah.
The Larceny is a
Definitely.
better example of that. This is not sweet. It's really not that sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So I recommend it, but it's a good one to get that's cheap and to compare to other cheap ones to see how your palate goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Four Roses favorite. I mean, the this standard is solid, and then it just goes up from there, in my opinion, with their different selections.
Yeah. Which I think every time I've tried the standard Four Roses and the small batch Four Roses, I essentially flip-flop on which one I like better.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because the small batch is almost double the price. It's like $40.
$35.99.
And every other time I kind of like the regular one more than the small batch. And then the next time
But
I'll
then
try
the
it. It's like,
small-
the small batch
Yeah.
is so good.
But then the small batch select.
yeah, well, then,
that's
then
a
they have,
different
yeah,
a different story.
Some
But
of their more special
Or there's
stuff.
then you go to their single barrel.
single barrels.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how many of those I have. Yeah.
Well, you have the barrel strength single barrels. You
Yes.
have the standard
Yeah.
single
Yeah.
barrel.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're
Yeah.
very,
Which all good. They're all good.
Yeah.
very.
So
very tasty.
there's our advertisement for Four Roses. Go ahead and pick that up at your local convenience store.
Four
We are
Roses.
not yet sponsored by Four
Please.
Roses, but we could be. We could be.
Next up, what do we got here?
We got Old Granddad bottled in bond. The Old Granddad, so it's 100 proof, and it's the whole bottled and bond thing. And this you can pick up here for $22.95.
Son of a bitch.
$22.95. It is 63% corn, 27% rye, so a fairly high rye mash bill, and 10% barley, malted barley.
See, this is the nose that like I come to expect. You know, you got since it's bonded.
It's good.
It's you get that little bit of burn. You know, that's the Four Roses didn't give me that. Obviously, the Redemption didn't give me that on the nose, and neither did the Maker's Mark. I really like bonded
Well,
alcohol.
so at 100 proof, it is definitely. I mean, it's just 100 proof, but it is higher than the 90, the
Yeah.
84, and the 80.
But
that we
when you
just
have
had.
something that can have the ethanol and it's part of the experience to where you can smell some sweetness and stuff, that's what I like on the nose.
Dude, that is the cheapest of all of these.
Yeah.
Yes,
And that is
yes.
the best of all of these.
Well,
Definitely. That's amazing.
Coming in hot.
what do you
Wow.
got?
Hot
What do you-
takes.
Yeah,
Hot
this-
takes.
this is
Are you
definitely-
already guzzling without? I didn't
He's
hear
just-
your
it's
nose.
gone.
Sipped it. I sipped it. Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what was the nose? Anything?
All right, we found our winner. Let's
Oh, for
let's wrap it
goodness-
up.
So I actually
Wrap it up.
on the on the nose, I actually get kind of a citrus note to it.
Oh, for sure.
Citrus and like a little cinnamon, probably.
Yep.
I like
Light baking
cinnamon.
spice, little cinnamon, little citrus, little. For me, it's orange. The oil. Like you take the rind out.
It makes me think of French toast.
French toast.
So are you getting a little maple syrup on it, or not?
Little Macron.
Yeah, it's like that egg cinnamon maple syrup. I think the cinnamon balances the maple syrup sweetness, but the image that comes to my mind is definitely French toast.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And I'll sit here by myself in the corner.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know what French toast you're eating, but my girlfriend makes great French toast. That tastes like old granddad.
Maybe that's what
She actually-
see.
she's been slow.
My old granddad doesn't taste like French toast.
She's whipping up in the eggs and supporting some old granddad in there.
Yeah. No, I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, but that is not what I would.
I'm dying on this hill, by the way. It's French toast.
You will die
Well,
on this hill.
there's a lot going on in the nose for sure. I'm
Yeah.
not picking up absolute French toast, but you know the warm spices like a little cinnamon, so that goes towards
Yeah.
the French toast. A little vanilla-y
Kind
type
of like
stuff.
a Rolo, a little bit of like that caramel, chocolatey. Makes me think of a Rolo too. Wow, when was the last time you guys had Rolos?
Do they exist still?
I don't know.
Aren't they owned by? I mean, they're owned by one of the big companies.
One of the big alcohol companies.
Nestle or something.
Probably. I mean, it's all Nestle chocolate.
Yeah.
See, now I'm picking up just a tad. So I'll be standing on my own hill here, dying too. A tad of pineapple.
Pineapple.
Yeah, I really do. It's not.
Give me a moment
It's not
to
dominant.
prepare
What
for
the
pineapple.
fuck are you talking
It's not
about?
dominant. There's a little bubble gum going on, a little pineapple for me, little warm spices.
None of the above.
Whoa, that tastes so good.
Yeah.
Dude, $22.99. Get the fuck out of here. That's so good. This takes you on a journey.
Yeah.
This actually puts you on a ride.
Yeah.
And it can taste it's got that little rye, it's got that little bam, bam,
Yep.
bam. I love it. But there's also, it's a creamy mouthfeel too.
Yeah.
For $22.95. There's a creamy mouthfeel.
Not astringent, not tanniny, nothing with that. It just kind of flows right on through to the back.
Yeah. This is a well put together whiskey.
And so, Old Granddad, the picture here is Basil Hayden. And what's interesting is, of course, most people know that there's a Basil.
Yeah.
Jim Beam puts out a Basil Hayden line of.
Oh, that's
bourbon.
Jim Beam?
And yes,
Okay.
yes, and this is made at the Jim Beam plant. Old Granddad is.
Okay.
Here's the thing, it's the exact same. Old Granddad is the exact same mash bill as Basil Hayden. But Basil Hayden was Jim Beam's 80s entry to try and convert Scotch drinkers. So Basil Hayden's 80 proof.
Yeah.
This is, of course, 100 proof. I mean, there is a regular Old Granddad 80 proof, and then there's Old Granddad 114, which is still under $30. So it will appear in another flight.
Okay.
But the Basil Hayden, which I'm not a fan of, it was really just sort of marketing to wean Scotch drinkers towards bourbon. And
With
so it's,
duct tape?
well, it's the same mash bill as this, but it's 80
What?
proof. Yeah.
Well,
That's weird.
their branding is certainly, I would, when I look at a Basil Hayden's, I think of Scotch. They have the label and everything. It makes me think of Scotch.
Interesting.
Well, so that part worked.
But why would you wean yourself off of Scotch with Basil Hayden? Like what about that profile makes you want to stop drinking Scotch and go to bourbon? That's what I don't understand.
it doesn't for me, for sure.
That's a weird target that you're trying to do as Basil Hayden or Jim Beam.
Yeah.
And
It's
been a while since I've had Basil Hayden, but I don't remember that being like, this is a halfway to Scotch.
My question is who names their child Basil?
Basil.
It's a strange name.
Basil Rathbone.
That is a strange
And they're like, and the Scotch are like, that's my kind of person. If I could do a Scotch accent, I would have done that in that.
It's best that you did.
I did not try.
The Old Granddad goes back. I mean, it's late 1800s or whatever, and then they've kept the mash bill the same. They wanted to mess with it, but Old Granddad drinkers knew their Old Granddad and didn't want it changed. So they made the right decision to just keep using that. And then in the 90s they did the whole Basil Hayden, sort of marketing thing. But this
That's for
is
young people.
This is still the old deal, but it is Basil Hayden on the label.
This bottle is, I mean, this is your 70-year-old person that's like, this is my whiskey. Fuck off.
Yeah. It's good.
But it's also,
I agree with them.
this should be in everyone's collection.
Well, so here's the
This is
thing.
amazing.
Price out 80 proof Basil Hayden.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
30,
they have different, different products, but ultimately price it out compared to Old Granddad. Same mash bill. Now, I'm not saying it's the same bourbon. I do believe Basil Hayden is aged longer, but then it is watered down to the 80 proof. So
This is better. This is better.
yeah.
Somebody gifted me a Basil Hayden, and it's still sitting there with a neck pour out of it or whatever.
even if you're not a whiskey person, if you just want a bottle of whiskey for people that come over, $23.
Yeah.
This is the one. This is definitely the one.
Okay,
Are you kidding me?
Oh, you know what I'm getting now? So remember I said that was like a little spritz of like, taking an orange rind and a little of that.
Yeah.
I am getting an orange creamsicle on the
Ooh.
taste.
Bold. That's a bold claim.
I'm getting an
Yeah,
orange creamsicle.
he's going off the cliff on
That's
this
a
one.
bold claim.
Oh, I'm sticking by it.
All right.
Perhaps it's just the orange on the bottle
Oh.
effect. No, I'm getting orange creamsicle, and actually,
Scientists have proven that if you're looking at a color, you taste an orange.
I
sickle.
will
I wish
say
they would change the label. That just looks
the
so
green
gaudy.
and
does.
orange
Yeah, it's like
is pretty gross.
it just it screams. But you know what? It stays on the shelf.
Exactly.
And I can get it.
That's what I'm saying. Is I like that it's no one's gonna buy that,
It's obnoxious.
and it's $22. Let's just leave the label. Let's just leave that.
Yeah,
and,
might as well.
You people at home, you just know that the label is shitty, but hey, it's a good bottle.
Yeah.
That's an amazing bottle.
Yeah.
Also, cocktails. If you're going to make bourbon cocktails,
Well, because
would you want anything else?
the
Really?
Yeah.
the proof holds up and it's got some spice to it. So yeah.
And you and
Yeah.
I, we compared this with something that is in the $60 range, which is the Wilderness Trail, bottled and bond.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, the Wilderness Trail was nice and
good.
sweet and good, but it was like, why did I pay $60 when I can just get Old Granddad
Get 3 of
and
these.
almost get the same, or even pay less and get what's the Buffalo Trace one?
Taylor.
Yeah.
Peach Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can find it.
Yeah, if you can find it, but it's cheaper than not the shit on Wilderness Trail, but they deserve it.
That was a good bottle.
It is
it's
good.
It's just newer.
Yeah,
and the problem
$60
with
is a lot when
Yeah.
it comes to
all
especially
newer brands are going to price it at that.
Yeah, we're going through this $20 range. I mean, last episode, I think this episode we started out with 2 not so great ones. We're finally moving up, and I'm curious what the next one is. So
You know what's crazy is there aren't very many, like you're not going to find new distilleries putting out $20 whiskeys. So essentially in going through all these $20 whiskeys, we're going through all of the bottom shelf,
yeah,
oldest and best distilleries for the most part, which is a really interesting exercise.
that's
I mean,
that's
Maker's Mark's
that's a
been
good
around
point.
forever.
That's-
Rose
yeah.
has been around forever. Jim Beam been around forever. We've done Buffalo Trace. I mean,
Well-
all this stuff has just been around.
Well, Redemption hasn't.
but it's MGP.
It's right.
but it
MGP.
It's
shows.
sourced from MGP. yeah.
MGP's been around.
Actually,
for
I'm a little
forever.
disappointed that it's because I'm a fan of MGP and the stuff the distillate they have,
Yeah,
especially
but-
their ryes. I mean, I know this isn't a rye, but this Redemption, but yeah, no, I would be proud might be too strong a word, but I would have zero problem pouring anybody
Oh
the
yeah,
Old Granddad bottled to bond, or even
kidding
the
me?
Four Roses.
you could
80
trick
proof.
someone into thinking that's something better than.
Oh, and blinds, yeah. For
Oh
sure.
yeah.
That's a dark horse in blinds.
What's interesting about that one is if we were to put that up against the 100 proof Old Forester from last episode, then because the 100 proof is not bonded,
Right.
and so we actually know
Bonus content.
Yeah, we actually know what went into
Patreon.
this. What's the age statement on a bonded again?
4
It's
years.
at least 4.
Yeah, so
Minimum
that
4.
Forester can kind of play around with it, but this we know the rules and
Yeah.
they're competing price points, so
Yeah.
it's interesting. So what do we got next?
Well, we have the Kickin' Chicken
Oh,
Fighting Cock. Fighting Cock put out by Heaven Hill, 103 proof, sort of known as frat boys. Yeah, frat
Because
boys.
it has cock on it.
yeah,
Well, Kickin' Chicken. I'll go with Kickin' Chicken.
yeah.
But
I have a
Fighting
bunch
Cock,
of chickens.
103 proof.
103 proof.
Yeah. So
That nose does not reflect that at all.
Is this like the frat boys version of Wild Turkey 101?
yes,
essentially.
yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Actually, it is sort of. I think the proof is 103 for a reason.
Okay.
You know, I think it's attempting to compete with Wild Turkey 101. It's Heaven Hill's entry into the lineup.
It's a bold strategy.
Heaven Hill
on
is
marketing.
larceny.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Heaven Hill is the only American distillery that produces every single type of American whiskey.
Okay.
Bourbons, ryes,
Cool.
all that type of stuff. And so you know, I like a lot of stuff from Heaven Hill. Fighting Cock I picked up because this is $21.95.
Whoa.
And I just checked
103
again the
proof.
price today because this is my only bottle and I haven't had it in a long time, but I clearly enjoyed it enough to drink, you know, half of it.
I kind of like the counter branding against the Wild Turkey, and it's almost the opposite because Wild Turkey is kind of sophisticated with their, you know, their turkey, especially on their rare breed.
Yeah.
But this is the opposite. Like it's pretty.
This is ridiculous.
It's a cool image, but
It's ridiculous.
the font
It's
is
a
questionable.
cartoon.
The font is questionable.
They put a cartoon on it.
That's Comic Sans almost. So
But up top, 103 proof
yeah.
frat boys.
I mean,
Let's get
even the
going.
labeling, like this is just a clear label you can just pull off.
now I haven't had it in a while, but I'm going to argue this is much
That's
more than
funny.
a frat boy
yes,
alcohol. I could be wrong.
I will
but
say the 103 proof does not come through on the nose. I'm able to sniff that.
ooh,
It's not burning me at all.
No, it's good.
Nice and warm.
ooh,
Yeah.
I like that nose. Wow.
Get a little. There's something sweet that I can't quite place, and I'm not sure what it is, but I don't want to say. I don't want to say honey because it's not really that, and it's not really creme brulee.
You want to know what it is?
What is it?
It is eggnog.
Son of a bitch,
Yeah,
he's right.
that's it.
He's
But-
right.
But he's sort of like, notice he's still sort of in that. Here's the French toast, which has a lot of, it's like,
I'm just.
No.
It's nutmeg.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's definitely that in
Whoa.
there.
And cream and
eggnog,
it's
because it's a
eggnog.
cream. It's
Cream.
eggnog.
Yeah.
It's eggnog. Oh, this could go in eggnog.
Oh yes.
What if we put this in it?
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
Oh
all right,
my
stop
God.
the show.
That's it. Where's the eggnog? Wait,
I
we
think I
don't-
still have that.
Oh no, sweet
Oh,
Jesus.
That's cottage cheese eggnog
What's the
if you still
date?
have it.
Yeah. But this is definitely
How long do they stop selling
eggnog.
eggnog?
I'm gonna. This is the hill I'm gonna win on. I'm not gonna die on this one.
No, there's definitely an eggnog profile
Yeah.
on the nose.
Whoa, yeah.
We'll see if we'll see if the palate matches up.
Yeah. Here's your hot take.
Here's your hot take.
Your 103 proof take right here.
It does not taste like eggnog. It does not taste like eggnog.
Does Rachel make you eggnog too?
Well, yeah,
Now I think Austin likes this because he's got some chickens.
yeah, it's true.
Well, I got a cock. I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't know what the problem is. I can relate.
I like to fight.
yeah. Who hasn't been a sword fight?
Oh Lord.
No.
Certainly doesn't taste like eggnog.
It does not taste like eggnog, but I do like it.
This is 103 proof, and honestly, it's kind of blown my mind. Even compared to the old Grandad, which we enjoyed, the ethanol, the hotness does not come through. This is a mild alcohol.
I mean, take a sip and then breathe out.
Okay.
Like it's
Yeah,
there.
drawing its breath.
It's there. But I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. Like it's definitely high proof.
And then breathe out.
Yeah.
No, it's
Okay.
Yeah.
there's a
I think
little
I had
there.
a small sip.
No, I mean, but
It's
that's
hot.
No, it's,
but that's the best way to tell ethanol.
Yeah.
Is just breathing out through it. You can tell. But it's still very good. It's a very good flavor profile.
It is. Actually,
The eggnog is not on the
does
palate.
not come through on the tasting palette, but it's definitely there on the smell.
yeah, for sure. And the tasting palate's decent. There's a little bit of complexity there. I am picking up. I'm not trying to diss on the kicking chicken here, but I am picking up just a tad. I don't think it's just the ethanol. A tad. It's taken me back a little bit to some of the astringency. Just not as much, but just a little bit of astringency. But it is 103 proof too. So
Yeah, I get a little bit of spice actually.
well, I get spice too for sure.
Little,
Yeah.
but not black pepper.
Do we know
rye.
the bill on this one? The mash bill?
The bill?
We don't know the mash bill, but
That's
it
terminology.
is.
Give me
it
that
is-
bill,
Yeah,
Rick.
just
It
give
is.
that
It
bill,
is.
son.
It is 6 years old. I mean, it's 6
Okay.
years. Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah.
This is legit.
It's the cheapest, $21.95.
Okay.
103 highest proof tonight, cheapest. Frat boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but
Now-
it is
but-
good. It's not like
no,
drinking
no, no.
Everclear.
No. I'm enjoying it. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I'm already thinking ahead on for me, old Grant. Well, I'm jumping the gun, but I'm thinking ahead. Like, where's this gonna place?
Yeah. I want to put this. I want to go 1v1 versus Wild Turkey now. 101.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's definitely been done before. No, I'm a big time Wild Turkey person, so
You're biased, okay?
I am biased. But I could do it.
We'll give
blind.
you our 100% biased opinions.
Yeah.
Although tasting this, I don't know. I haven't had Wild Turkey 101 in a long time, but this is pretty unique tasting.
Yeah. We had it one night.
We got it right there.
We had it one night when we were just kicking around.
This is, you know what's funny? So Wild Turkey has such a dichotomy of how people perceive it, because there's either the people that drank it in college and just got really hammered and hate it because they threw up a bunch, or there's people that are in
love
love
Wild
with
Turkey.
it because it's actually really good.
Well, and also the brand itself has,
I mean, that's another really old brand.
Matthew McConaughey's great.
Get out of here with that.
What was that
Our
called again?
unaired episode.
Yeah, unaired.
This could be the bonus bottle for the Patreon.
Yeah, there we
that
go.
doesn't exist.
Oh, he's just going
You
straight from
son
the
of a bitch.
bottle.
That's my bottle.
Ooh. I like me some Wild Turkey
What is-
101.
What is wrong with
And
you?
now you got come on, there's almost nothing
You
left.
He's
are-
lost control.
There's almost nothing left. Look at Fighting Cock Wild Turkey 101.
You are a fighting cock.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Wild Turkey, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Hey, I enjoy Fighting Cock. I really do.
Yeah.
This?
I do, but it's shit.
No,
compared
it's
to
not.
Wild Turkey. By the way, Wild Turkey's the best bourbon I've ever had.
I'm a Wild Turkey fan for
How
sure.
much are they paying you?
Yeah.
They're not.
We got a plant.
Yeah, we got a plant.
Russian
Just look
spy.
at that.
We
Look
got
at the
Russian
eye, look at the
spies.
eye of that turkey. That Fighting Cock has
Yeah.
no chance. No, I'm enjoying Fighting Cock. I really am. But I just
Get that out of here.
well
Yeah.
now there's a little spit in there. But
Yeah, get it out. It's
nonsense.
contaminated.
this is our last one we're tasting, so it would be worth
Oh, okay.
Last
pouring a
episode.
Fair
little,
enough.
right?
Fair enough.
But I can already tell you, based on
Yeah,
me
we'll-
backwashing in there.
This
That's
tastes
gonna
like
add a-
Rick's spit.
What's the difference between a glass and
Ironically,
a bottle?
still tastes like cock.
Oh no. Yeah.
That's my dad.
It's kind of interesting comparing. This is going to be a tough decision, I think.
That's number one's not a tough decision for me. It's going to be number two. That's out of this flight of five.
Are we ready to do that?
Well, I don't want
I'm
to. I don't
still-
want to
I'm
push
still
it. Yeah, I'm
sipping.
still sipping a little bit here too.
All right.
I need a little more cock.
For me, it actually isn't. I
If
know.
I had a nickel.
I almost find this an easier drink than the old granddad. And I like the.
Why?
This has a sweet body to it. Like this will stay like middle of the tongue. This is vanilla-y, baked goods. Eggnog on the nose. I love eggnog, first of all. So I'm a little biased, but I like how sweet it is. This is the aftertaste is sweet. I'm enjoying this after I take a drink. It's just sitting there. Like I can
Which-
taste the alcohol.
Once again, this has a balance to it
Yes.
that you have the sweetness, but it has the high proof. It's got a little bit of spice to it.
Yeah.
that is a good whiskey. When you have all those things and you can pick it out where it's like, wow, there's a lot of sweetness. Wow, there's a lot of spice. Wow, there's a lot of proof. But it all kind of melds together. That's excellent.
So when I took that second drink and you told me to like breathe out, it was certainly hot then. But now that I'm kind of used to it, I don't know, man.
Burned off all your taste buds.
Now that I can't taste anything, it's like this is super smooth. I find it a little bit easier to drink than the Granddad.
That's interesting.
And I would almost put this, and it's recency bias, I think. I already know I like Old Granddad, but this is impressing me a lot.
It's a good bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
This one stays hidden on the shelf.
Oh,
at most liquor
yes.
stores, too.
I mean, again, 21.95, 103 proof.
This smells like you. My papa, he makes like a Christmas drink with eggnog and stuff. It's like
That's what
this
that.
is. It smells like a alcohol.
I mean, you're
tainted-
definitely. I mean, that you did a good job, Austin, in that this is for you, taking you back to some time and place.
Definitely.
And yeah, so that's obviously going to factor in. I like it a lot. I think it's severely undervalued for the proof and the price point, and it's fairly tasty. There's a little astringency I get, but not a lot.
It spikes and then it just goes back into mellow.
This is one of the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah.
As far as proof and
Price My
and
God.
and drinkable. I don't know if you remember, Austin, but you know, it's been a while since, you know, maybe a month or two ago, but when we were sitting down here and we tried probably a few too many or whatever ultimately, but I snuck this one in. I mean, you know, we were just talking, there were other people here, and we weren't doing any official tasting or anything like that, but we were just pouring little snippets of bourbon, and I poured some of this one, and you liked it at that time too.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if you recall that.
I do.
And it was way out of price point. The other things we were drinking were much more, you know, expensive. I mean, not ridiculous expensive, but $60, $70, $80, and this is at $21.95, and you liked it at that point in time.
I would not be afraid to put this with, like, you guys said that you'd give anybody the Old Granddad. Like, this is a pretty safe bet. Give anyone this. It's like, oh, you want some whiskey? Like, doesn't matter if they're someone who's never had whiskey to someone who's, you know, super experienced. They're like, oh, nice. This actually tastes pretty good.
I think if someone were new to whiskey, this would be a little too much for them.
It would be hot.
I also think their Old Granddad would probably be a little too much for them.
That's where Four Roses comes in.
Yeah.
Or,
maybe.
I mean, I would say not Maker's Mark and not Redemption, but Larceny is, I will say, Larceny didn't win, but still, I have not had an alcohol.
There is a place for that.
That is as approachable as Larceny is so far in our lineup.
Yeah. And again, Heaven Hill does a really good job.
And this is Heaven Hill again,
This is Heaven Hill product,
So,
yes. Yeah.
I'm a fan so far.
It's good.
And again, 6-year-old or
Which is
roughly 6.
impressive for their marketing, for them to actually age this for 6 years. That's super
I mean,
impressive.
it's not labeled as 6, but the
It is
literature
6.
said it's
roughly.
roughly 6 years old.
No, that's legit. That's super legit. Yeah.
Well, we've tasted all 5, right?
Rank them.
Let's put them all next to each other here. So,
But we're empty. I'm totally certain. I mean, these are the 5.
yeah.
But we just have the Fighting Cock.
Pour a little of your spit in our fucking
and this
glasses. Jesus Christ.
This is going to show up in another flight of our $20 bourbons. But why not do we're not included in the flight.
This is a bird
fight.
fight.
It's a bird fight.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks.
We're doing a chicken fight.
An impromptu cockfighting.
Oh,
Impromptu cockfighting. I'm gonna have to go buy another bottle.
oh well.
Not eggnog. So let's just dump this one out.
But anyway, rank.
Yeah, let's rank,
rank the 5 while we're doing this.
I'm gonna give it to Fighting Cock for myself. That nose is when something smells like eggnog, that means that it has thick is a terrible word to describe something that's on the nose, but it just had a robust nose that was nutmeg forward and cream eggnog.
Thicker than a Snicker.
Yeah. I like things that are higher proof because I like that burn. And what it did is it hit the burn and it balanced out and it was just sat there. That aftertaste just lingered, the sweetness. I'm going to have to give it to Fighting Cock. Although I really enjoyed Old Grandad, I would say my wild card would be Four Roses just because I love Four Roses.
Well, wait, so what's your second place? So Fighting Cock is one.
My second place is Old Grandad for sure.
And then sort of like
Four Roses is a required. You got to have Four Roses. If you don't have Four Roses, come on, figure it out. Let's get
Figure it out.
Get
real.
And then if you're going down the line, so you got your winners, but let's talk about the other end.
Yeah, so Maker's Mark, I based off of when I was younger, I was like, oh, I was sold on the wax. That was I was all about Maker's Mark when I first was able to buy alcohol. I haven't had it since because I didn't really like it. It wasn't the worst alcohol I've ever had, but as someone who likes experiences with alcohol, I do not like a middle ground. It's like it's lukewarm. I spit it out of my mouth. Like that's kind of how I feel about that. It's trying to be too middle of the road where it's being approachable, but also trying to go towards the higher end market. Sorry, not having it. It's not selling me. Redemption, get it out of here. I will not give another, I won't think about Redemption ever again. That's how I feel about it.
You're going boom, 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 Maker's Mark, Redemption last.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
So Redemption didn't totally redeem itself.
No, it did not totally redeem itself.
It is irredeemable.
So for me, I would a clear first place out of these five is Old Grandad Bottled and Bond. We've talked about it, but I had sort of a creamsicle taste toward the end, but to me it also had a creamy, viscous mouthfeel, especially for the price point. That I really just was sort of a luxurious mouthfeel. Had baking spices, there was a lot going on, well balanced. I would put Fighting Cock second for me, close to Four Roses. Because Four Roses is sort of middle of the road, but there is some interesting things going on too. It's not total middle of the road. And I love the Four Roses distillery, but Fighting Cock is just more interesting. If you're a beginner, definitely Four Roses. So for me, it's Old Grandad 1, Fighting Cock 2, Four Roses 3, very close to Fighting Cock. But the proof probably is one of the differences, 80 to 103. And then Maker's Mark, which I know we haven't been kind to, but if you're a beginner with bourbon, there's some definite good things to talk about there. Redemption, I would agree that that never sees the light of day again. Now, to be fair, they have other products that I haven't tried. Right? They have other products I haven't tried.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
And they totally redeem themselves. No?
Nope. They don't.
This is, what I'm kind of curious about is if this is their lower end. Like, do they go lower than this?
No.
This is...
They have a bourbon, a high rye bourbon, and a rye as their low trio. And then they have some higher end stuff from there. I think they had a 9-year special release, and then maybe.
So I think they go up in price pretty quickly.
Oh, there's these, and then I think the next level gets to, and I might be wrong, but I remember them when a few years ago, and it got to over $100 almost immediately.
That's what I saw when I was at
for like a 9-year.
Yeah.
No.
I like comparing the lowest end. Maker's Mark at least makes a case for itself. Redemption, it is like this is the redheaded, adopted 3 times stepchild that is just not belonging with any of these. So, and I have a redheaded girlfriend. Okay, so I'll leave it at that.
The Maker's Mark, if you're on trial, Maker's Mark is a public defender. Redemption is you're defending yourself.
What an analogy.
That's basically what that is.
Yeah.
I think I would go. So I'd probably go Old Granddad first.
Yep.
I'm gonna put Four Roses second.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I really
This is a
like
rape
Four
game.
Roses.
That's legit.
I like Fighting Cock is third. I like Fighting Cock. I don't think what makes the best case for it is how cheap it is. I mean, it is incredibly cheap.
Did you just say you didn't really like Fighting Cock?
No, I like it.
Okay.
I like Four Roses more. The best case for Fighting Cock is that it is
Okay.
literally
Yeah.
like $20. I don't think that is a necessary bottle for everyone to have, whereas I think Four Roses is a necessary bottle for everyone to have, and that's what is the distinction for me. That being said,
That's a good point.
That being said, people should try Fighting Cock. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good bottle. So yeah, 1 Old Granddad, Four Roses 2, Fighting Cock 3. As much as I hate to say it, Maker's Mark is 4th, and then Redemption is just, I mean, that's toilet water, I think.
Yeah. They're coming back though.
They're not.
They're going to redeem themselves
They already
eventually.
did. This was the Redemption.
In 9 more years, it's going to be an 18-year bourbon.
Oh, God. Gross. Gross.
Well, so then I have, tell me if I'm wrong, I have Old Granddad and Fighting Cock moving on, but Four Roses is in sort of that wild card spot.
Sure.
Just based on what we
Yeah.
said. You almost just sold me on the four, because to me, Four Roses and Fighting Cock are close. I mean, they're not close in taste, but I rank them extremely close. And your argument of everybody needs a Four Roses, and just the fact that that's a 1.75 mil sort of makes that point or whatever.
Well, and it also depends on, I mean, we're saying the best bourbon for $20, but it depends on our criteria for that, right? I mean, it's what is the easiest drinker? What's the most unique flavor profile? What takes you on a journey the most? What has the best balance? I mean, there's too much for it, which is why we're all doing it. We can have different opinions.
Sure,
which
absolutely.
Is nice.
No, absolutely.
But
Yep. No,
that's why I went Four Roses,
yeah,
though.
that
It's like,
makes-
I think everyone should have one of these.
Yep.
So Old Granddad takes the cake.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bottle and bond.
I think aggregate wise, that probably wins out the round. But
All
then
right.
you both ranked Fighting Cock second, so
well, he ranked it first.
Yeah.
or
it was
sorry,
first for me.
second,
Yeah.
third.
2 Old Granddads first.
So that probably
yeah,
gets
so
second.
I already wrote it down for the bracket.
Yeah.
Old Granddad 101, 1, Fighting Cock 2, Wild Card, Four Roses 80. We're not sure how we're going
We
to handle
definitely
wild
need to have
card.
a loser's bracket. That's
So-
for sure.
we should have a wild card bracket.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So right now it would be Larceny / Buffalo Trace, just the regular, and the Four Roses 80 proof are the wild cards at the moment.
That's fun.
That's
moving on,
that's a good wild card bracket.
moving on in $20 between $20 and $20.99 bourbons are Old Forester 100, Old Tub Bottled and Bond from the first round flight,
damn.
Old Granddad 101, or excuse me, it's a Bottled and Bond 100. I don't know why I'm saying 101. Well, because I'm drinking.
drinking
some
Yeah,
101.
exactly. We're not there
You
yet.
son of a bitch.
Fighting Cock 103, and then Four Roses the wild card. Bam.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good lineup.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well,
This did you
Worst of
taste
the
this?
worst.
yeah.
I
We'll
mean-
leave our opinions for when we actually bring this in the lineup.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no opinion.
I think both of these hit bottom of the barrel for 'cause
Yes.
What did we have last time?
Hang on.
These are below.
Okay, so last time we tasted Larceny, David Nicholson, the Weeded,
Yeah.
That's better than both
yes.
these.
Buffalo Trace, Old Tub Bottled and Bond, and Old Forester. And
All
what-
those
Old
better than both
Forester
these
and
two.
Old Tub moved on, and then
Yeah.
we sort of tied between Larceny and Buffalo Trace. You for sure crapped all over David Nicholson, 1843, which is their
I
Weeded.
did, but I would still take it over these two.
Yes.
I would take it over Redemption for sure. It might be interesting head to head with Maker's Mark.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll have
That's a
to do a
good.
little
That's a good.
head-to-head.
There we go. Don't look over there.
I'm looking-
We don't have those
I'm looking at
alcohols.
I think I have the reserve actually.
Yeah. So
It's amazing to me, seriously. And sorry, Austin, I know I just cut you off, but it's like it's amazing how many $20 to $30
Yes.
bourbons there are.
This is why this is
mean,
a quest. And
we're
that's
doing
why
four
the
rounds.
title
We're on a
episode.
quest.
We're
for
doing
sure.
4 rounds of 5, but you could get crazy with Jim Beams and
Yeah.
Evan Williams. Now, some of those are sub 20. I understand that, which we might do one of those too, because I've been keeping a list of the sub 20s.
Yeah.
But it's pretty amazing how many $20 to $30 bourbons there are. And some are not good, but some bat way,
But that's what's so
above.
important about this tasting that we're doing is, some aren't good, and that's just a reality. Is branding plays a big part in this price range, and in other price ranges, but like especially this price range because people are going to give $20 for a bottle of alcohol. Redemption, Maker's Mark is relying on its
Branding.
name,
Yeah.
on its branding, on that
100%.
freaking wax. That's what it's relying on.
400
honestly.
degrees.
Yeah, 400-degree wax is just bloop, and then you don't even get a cork. I mean, come on. We have things that actually taste fantastic in this price range, and then when you compare the things that are in the same price range / bracket, or the bracket we're putting in it, it's blowing my mind. The last episode really opened my mind up to, especially the Old Forester. Man, respect on Old Forester. This has been really eye-opening, and I'm excited to do the more expensive stuff because it's like, what are we getting into in that? Because there's certainly bad ones there. Because
Oh,
is
yes,
this
yes.
worth $60? But there's going to be some amazing stuff in $60. So yeah, and again, if the people who are watching this, if you got anything that's in the $20 range from $20 to $30, make sure to let us know because we don't know all of them because there's so many of them, but we're just picking the ones that we have available to us. So make sure to comment, let us know. And if you liked this content, make sure that you subscribe because, that'll let us know that we are doing a good job.
If you have a bottle that's in the $20 range that slaps harder than Will Smith, you let us know.
Yeah. And there you go. There it is. The one joke we'll allow.
I told you I'd say one. I told you I had to say one.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for watching. But again, if you like this video, make sure you like the video and you subscribe because we are going to be continuing this quest.
Oh, we're doing that now? We're pandering for likes and
Oh,
subscribes?
yeah. Please, dear God.
I don't care if you like or subscribe. How about that?
I want you to like because it gives me a nice serotonin boost in my brain and it allows me to live my life.
Catch us on TikTok.
No.
And
No.
yeah, the Gram,
Yeah, we're not there,
And
but we're definitely on YouTube.
Twitter.
So thanks for watching. And
Rumble.
Cheers.
catch you next time. Wild turkey is definitely better than fighting cock.